take responsibility of waste generated by you, package your waste properly to be taken to certified dump sites, avoid dumping waste in gutters and waterways, participate in community cleanup initiatives. 2. The ministry have reintroduced sanitary inspectors who, together with enforcement team, will be deployed to conduct regular inspections throughout the state. They will assess compliance levels and provide guidance to those who may need assistance with proper waste disposal practices. Please cooperate with them. 3. Activities of private waste managers in the state have been banned forthwith until an appropriate operational permits are obtained from the Ministry of Waste Management and Resource Innovations. 4. Illegal dumping of waste by any private waste managers shall henceforth attract a fine of 350,000 naira only and their utility truck confiscated. 5. Illegal
TV, the force of the nation. You can follow us on Facebook at Som TV and on YouTube at Som TV Live. Now the major headlines. Taraba's 2025 Investment Summit showcases Taraba's economic potential. Sokoto State launches Digital Skills Training Center for Almajiri children and adolescent girls. NYSC launches campaign to combat gender-based violence and promote equality in northern Nigeria. I am Esther Oka-Steven with the news in full. Taraba State today played host to Taraba's 2025, a high-profile investment summit amid at showcasing the economic and investment potentials across the state's 16 local government areas. The event took place at 10 a.m. in the banquet hall of the T.Y. Danjuma's house in Jalingo, the state capital. The summit attracted a distinguished roster of national leaders, business magnates, and traditional rulers. Among the prominent guests were Vice President Kashim Shettima, Africa's richest man Aliko Dangote, Governor Umaru Mohammed Bago of Niger State, the revived Oni of Ife, Oba Adeyeye Enitan Ogunwose, and Tony Elumelu, chairman of Air Holding and founder of the Tony Elumelu Foundation. Also present was Dauda Danjuma, representative of the T.Y. Danjuma's Foundation and king of the esteemed retired General Theophilus Danjuma. Taraba's 2025 was organized by the Taraba State Government under the leadership of Governor Abu Kefas. The event aimed at positioning Taraba as a viable hub for investment and agriculture, solid mineral, tourism, and renewable energy. In his keynote address, Vice President Kashim commended Governor Kefas for his commitment to transforming Taraba's economy and emphasized the federal government's support for subnational investment drives. Aliko Dangote spoke about the need for infrastructure development to unlock the state's economic potentials, particularly in agribusiness and processing industries. The summit is hoped to also feature investment pitch sessions, exhibitions, and panel discussion with presentations from both local entrepreneurs and international business representatives. Here is some video clips of the event.
Leveraged our plans on the international business ties, assertive step by Taraba State under the visionary leadership of Governor Kefas on investment, established and engendered by the governor with the required security. Governor,
Eminence, my lord, bishops.
There and the governor, I was first in Dubai when the governor called and said he would like me to be here. I said, my brother, please, I'm traveling. He said, you have to be here. I said, I will obey and I will come. But more importantly, What triggered my decision to come is what is being held today, investment. Yesterday in Doha, I spoke about investment. I shared with the world that Africa was open for business and that the future we speak for Africa is here and now, and that we have opportunities in Africa. What we are doing here today speaks to that, and I wish we could beam this to the entire world to see what this state, as in other states also in the country, are endowed with. So, Mr. Governor, I commend this, and as Ali Cash, the king of the private sector, said not long ago, what is good for local investors is good for foreign investors. So we look forward to partnering and working with you in making your vision come true. The reason I love investment and I preach investment wherever I go to is that it has a lot of benefits. First, it helps to engage our young ones. I am a champion for our young ones, champion of African youth, Nigerian youth. I believe strongly that employment is one sure way of empowering our young ones. Employment is a way of bringing dignity to everyone. In fact, I have often said that it's a betrayal of a generation for people to leave schools and not be able to find good jobs. So when we encourage investment, we're helping to create employment for our people. We're helping to economically empower our people. So this is commendable. Investment also helps to improve security. Where you have investment, people behave better. So we need to all encourage this, not just in Taraba, but in other states of the Federation. And then this investment in agriculture will also help us deal with the issue of food security. So that, as they say, hungry man is an angry man. Let's feed our country so that people will be happy and we'll have calmness and peace everywhere. But for us to do this, there are a few things we must also do. And since we have our political leaders, I want to say improving access to electricity is so critical in attracting and supporting investment in the country. Improving the security situation also helps, and most importantly, ease of doing business. But
Government has launched a digital skill training center amid at empowering Almajiri children and out of school adolescent girls with essential skills for the digital age. The initiative, in collaboration with UNICEF and supported by the Elvo Foundation, is called Digital Village. Governor Ahmed Aliyu emphasized its importance in tackling educational parties and promoting digital inclusion. The center will provide training in digital vocational, numeracy, and livelihood skills to 250 children in its first cohort. UNICEF representative described the initiative as a structured hub for learning and mentorship designed to improve economic independence and social inclusion for vulnerable youth. The event supports the local leaders and stakeholders. NYSC has launched a grassroots campaign in northern Nigeria to combat gender-based violence and promote gender equality. Speaking in Bauchi, NYSC Director General Brigadier General Olakunle Nafiu, represented by State Coordinator Rifikatu Yakubu, said the initiative will use core gender vanguard groups across all 774 local government areas. The scheme also supports school gender clubs and link victims to help services. The student participants express confidence in spreading awareness and reporting abuse. 7 inmates escaped from the medium security custodian center in Ilese, Osun State, early Tuesday morning after heavy rainfall caused the facility perimeter walls to collapse. The Nigerian Correctional Service confirmed the breach occurred around 2 a.m., prompting a manhunt. Nigerian Correctional Service spokesperson Umar Abubakar said an investigation has been ordered by the Controller General of Corrections, Sylvester Ndidi, who assured the public of intensified efforts in collaboration with other security agencies and community leaders to recapture the escapees. The public is urged to provide any helpful information via designated hotlines. The Rivers State chapter of the All Progressive Congress has declared its willingness to receive suspended Governor Seminalaye Fubara if he defects from the People's Democratic Party. State APC Chairman Emeka Becker said the move would strengthen the party's position and governance influence in Rivers. He added that Fubara would assume leadership of the party in the state and benefit from increased support. Meanwhile, the Rivers Elders and Leaders Council dismissed partisans' interests, stressing their sole concern is Fubara's recent statement. Ongoing reconciliation talks between Fubara and FCT Minister Nyesom Wike remains inconclusive, with no confirmation of defection plans. Similarly, the People's Democratic Party Senators caucus in Osun State has endorsed President Bola Tinubu for re-election in the 2027 presidential race. The endorsement made public in a joint statement by Senator Kamaruddin Oyewumi of Osun West, Olubiye Ajegunla of Osun Central, and Francis Fadashonsi of Osun East. Follows a meeting where the lawmakers expressed their confidence in Tinubu's lordship and his track record in governance, economic reforms, and infrastructure development. They commended the president for improvement in national security and the reduction of food prices. The senators reiterated their unwavering support for Tinubu's visionary and progressive agenda, urging him to continue accelerating developmental strides for Nigerians' benefit. The Joint Admission and Matriculation Board has announced a mop-up examination for over 5.6% of candidates who missed the 2025 UTME. JAMB Registrar Professor Ishaq Oloyede disclosed this during a stakeholders meeting in Abuja, stating that all absentees, regardless of the reasons, will be allowed to sit the exam. He clarified that the UTME is a placement test, not a measure of intelligence, and dismissed claim of ethnic bias and mismanagement. Oloyede praised candidates and staff for their resilience and reaffirms JAMB's commitment to fairness and transparency in the admission process. The Central Bank of Nigeria Bauchi branch has donated a motorized fire cadre to the Federal Fire Service in Bauchi as part of its corporate social responsibility. At the handover event, CBN branch controller James Leobata said the donations reflect the bank's commitment to community safety. Acting State Controller of the Fire Service, DCF Babangida Abba, described the equipment as timely, noting its usefulness in reaching difficulties area during fire emergencies. Fire Service spokesperson ASF Umar Lawal added that the portable units enhance early response and training, especially in areas lacking conventional firefighting infrastructure. The Osun State Police Command has stated it has not received official notification from the Nigerian Correctional Service regarding the escape of 7 inmates from the Medium Security Custodial Center in Ilesa. Police spokesperson DSP Abiodun Ojalabi confirmed that while intelligence reports suggest an escape occurred, no formal report has been filed. The Nigerian Correctional Service earlier announced the escape, attributing it to damage caused by heavy rainfall that compromised the facility's perimeter. The Controller General of Corrections has ordered an investigation and assured that efforts are underway in collaboration with security agencies and local leaders to rapture the fugitives. The Minister of Interior, Olubimi Tunji Ojo, has announced the arrest of several individuals on Interpol's red list at Nigeria's airports. The arrests made within a 2-day period involve fugitives wanted by various European countries, including Italy and Ireland. Tunji Ojo credited the success of improved surveillance and intelligence infrastructure at border points. Speaking at the Maritime Border Security Workshop in Lagos, he also revealed that Nigeria now employs advanced passenger information API technology, enabling authorities to profile incoming travelers and fulfilling internal security obligations. The Immigration Service reiterates its commitment to preventing criminal exploitation of the country's maritime border. Senator Onyekachi Nwebuni called for the reallocation of old buildings around Abuja International Airport to improve the area's image. However, Senate President Godswill Akpabio opposed the idea, arguing that such relocations wouldn't necessarily enhance the nation's appearance. The Senate rejects Onwebuni's proposals after a voice vote. Onyebuni has also been involved in a recent verbal confrontation with former Minister Obi Ezekwesili during a committee hearing. Workers of the National Assembly Service Commission have requested to be re-enrolled in the Contributory Pension Scheme (CPS) 2 years after being removed from it. The demand was made during a stakeholder session on the Pensions Reform Act 2014 in Abuja. The clerk of the National Assembly, Kamaru Ogunlana, submitted the memorandum highlighting the service request for re-entering despite the establishment of a separate pension board for assembly staffs under the National Assembly Service Pension Board of 2023. The House of Representatives Committee on Pensions, led by Oseni Jallo, emphasized the need to review the Pensions Reform Act to address current issues. Other stakeholders, including the National Pension Commission, PENCOM, and Pension Transitional Arrangement Directorate, PTAD, also participated in the review. PENCOM supported the review and proposed changes to improve retirement benefits, while PTAD sought formal recognition as a legal entity. The review aimed to improve the sustainability and independence of the pension sector. The Yobe State House of Assembly has called for urgent action to address recurring flooding in Yusufari town. Hassan Mohamed, representing Yusufari constituency, urged the Assembly to direct relevant committees to assess the situations and for the state executive to implement flood mitigation measures ahead of the rainy season. The motion, which received anonymous support, also sought assistance from internal partners and NGOs. Speaker Chiroma Buba Mashio emphasized forwarding the motion to the Presidential Committee on Environment and National Intervention and ensuring action across flood-prone areas in the state. Saudi authorities have reportedly arrested the wife and mother of the Nigerian bandit leader Ado Alero in Medina. The woman was allegedly living under a false identity and were apprehended during an intelligence-led operation linked to the insurgent network in Nigeria's northwest. Alero, known for leading violent attack and kidnapping in Zamfara, and nearby state remains on Nigeria's most wanted list. Nigeria and Saudi security agencies are collaborating on the investigation with officials suggesting the women may possess intelligence on Aliero's whereabouts and financial operations. The arrests are seen as a potential step towards weakening the leadership of terror group destabilizing northern Nigeria. Aliero was named among 97 terror suspects declared wanted by the Nigerian Defense Headquarters in March 2024. Let's take a brief commercial break. Don't change the channel. We'll be right back with more exciting updates on Sun TV.
The Honorable Commissioner, Ministry of Waste Management and Resource Innovations, Honorable Shonzin James Bernard, on behalf of the Ministry, wish to inform the general public that from now onward and as part of our ongoing commitment to maintaining a clean and sustainable environment, the Ministry of Waste Management and Resource Innovations frowns at the way citizens of the state don't keep their immediate environment clean, dump waste indiscriminately across the state like in the gutters, thereby blocking drainages and waterways, causing flooding. It is on this regard that I wish to communicate some significant changes and regulations that will take effect immediately. 1. Keep your immediate surrounding clean. Take responsibility of waste generated by you. Package your waste properly to be taken to certified dump sites. Avoid dumping waste in gutters and waterways. Participate in community cleanup initiatives. 2. The ministry have reintroduced sanitary inspectors who, together with enforcement team, will be deployed to conduct regular inspections throughout the state. They will assess compliance levels and provide guidance to those who may need assistance with proper waste disposal practices. Please cooperate with them. 3. Activities of private waste managers in the state have been banned forthwith until an appropriate operational permit are obtained from the Ministry of Waste Management and Resource Innovations. 4. Illegal dumping of waste by any private waste managers shall henceforth attract a fine of 350,000 naira only and their utility truck confiscated. 5. Illegal dumping of waste by an individual shall henceforth attract a fine of 150,000 naira only. 6. Cleanliness starts from your home. Be a part of the solution and not part of the pollution. If you can't clean up your surroundings, then don't make it dirty. 1. Who maintains cleanliness keep away diseases. Follow cleanliness to kill tomorrow diseases. Together, we can create a cleaner, greener, and healthier Taraba. Announcer, Philibus Daniel Adamu, Permanent Secretary.
The United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, UNODC, has warned that the rising demand for gold and critical minerals is contributing to crime, corruption, and instability across Africa. According to a report released by the UNODC, illegal gold mining and trafficking are increasingly driven by organized crime groups, with the proceeds often fueling armed conflict and undermining the state authority. The report highlights that illegal mining operations bypass regulation, causing significant environmental damage, including mercury contaminations and deforestation. While most gold refineries are located in Europe, Asia, and Northern Africa, the illegal trade in gold often crosses multiple borders, presenting opportunities for both exploitation and law enforcement intervention. The UNODC urges regulatory effort to target key refinery hubs to curb the flow of illicit gold into the global market. Dr. Noyin Soludo's wife of Anambra State, Governor Professor Chukwuma Soludo, recently took children from local orphanages on a tour of the newly built Solution Fund City and Government House. The initiative aimed to give the children a sense of belonging and enjoyment. Mrs. Soludo highlighted the Fund City potentials to boost the local economy by attracting visitors and providing leisure opportunities. The children expressed their gratitude and joy from the experience. Members of the Trade Union Congress TUC and the Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Staff Association of Nigeria protested on Tuesday at the Federal Ministry of Finance over the withholding of pensions, salary arrears, and other benefits for staffs and the Nigerian Nuclear Regulatory Authority (NNRA). The workers, dressed in red T-shirts, blocked the ministry entrance, disrupting access to the building. TUC Secretary General Nuhu Toro explained that the withhold internally generated revenue was essentially for paying pensions and salary. He also criticized the erosion of the minimum wage by inflation. However, the Minister of Finance approved the release of the funds, and the Permanent Secretary Raymond Omechi assured the protesters that payment will be made within 48 hours. Enugu State Governor Peter Mba have urged the federal government to include the state in the 13% oil revenue derivation, following the recognition as an oil-producing state by the Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission (RMAFC) in December 2022. Mba made an appeal during the meetings with the RMAFC Indices and Disbursement Committee, citing the state's entitlement to a share of the oil revenue from Anambra River Basin field. He emphasized that the state has yet to receive any funds from these fields despite the recognition. Mba also highlighted his administration's effort to boost Enugu internal revenue by over 400%, aiming to surpass a project 500 billion naira in the 2025 budget. RMAFC representatives acknowledged the state's growth